Some people come late. Okay, so we are covering Bury the Bones in the Midnight Soil from the E. Schwab, and this is the ending of it. So, like the third ending of it, and there's just a few trigger warnings, just like carnage, blood, murder, deception, um, LGBT stuff. If that's not your vibe, then you can click off the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with everybody's favorite quote and things that or moments, because a lot of people are listening to it audibly. Erin, do you want to share your favorite moments or quotes or anything that stood out to you? It doesn't even have to be a favorite. It can be something where it's like, what just happened?
Well, the scene that I keep thinking about that like really hurt me was when Alice was screaming, crying about how she died for nothing. That like broke my heart. I was like crying with her. I had a quote and I can't find it now because I was reading late at night in bed and I don't like to dog ear my pages, but I can't find it. Maybe someone else has it. It was something, and I think it was Lottie was talking to her mom, and her mom said something like, "Bad thoughts, go to bed." I can't. It keeps like playing in my mind, but I can't remember what the quote was.
Yes, her mom has some of the best quotes of the whole book. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
then the other one that I did put my bookmark in this one at the end. It's when Lottie was talking to Ezra about being alone, and she asked him like, isn't that lonely?" And he says, "It doesn't have to be. After all, loneliness is just like us," says Ezra. "It has to be invited in."
I love that. I love that. However, I may disagree a little bit. But yeah, I loved that. I wish I could apply that. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And that brought something up to me too, and I know you'll remember, in Eat, Pray, Love, she talks about it and she's like, loneliness walked into my bed and depression
Yes.
climbed into my, she personalizes it too. And I'm like, oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's me who looks at it, like it just happens. So that's okay, Stephanie. I just got your message about the camera's not working. That's okay. We love having you here, and I saw you were shocked about the book, and so your thoughts are always welcome. If the camera works, great. Gwen, we're going over our favorite quotes or moments, or not even necessarily, I guess, like I said, like favorites, but just like feelings, things that emoted you.
Um, oh goodness. Um, I didn't really have any favorite quotes. Again, I'm using the Audible book and I listen to it while I drive, so quotes are hard for me. My favorite moment I think is when Sabine tried to kiss oh God, Alice, and Alice kind of like pulled away and was like, "I'm really tired." And like the rejection that she gave Sabine, I thought that was a powerful moment. So I really enjoyed that moment of like her owning herself, and the whole like it shocked me. When she killed Charlotte. It really like took me for a twist, but like I could see why she did it. So I thought that was really interesting.
Okay, I think at this point, I understood it too. While I felt it was unnecessary to kill Charlotte, I did understand where Alice was coming from, but because of the betrayal. Nikki, how about you?
Sorry, I just had the kiddo shouting in the background. I was trying to figure out what was going on.
It's okay.
I did the audiobook as well, so it was hard for me to pick out quotes. I was trying to find the one by Googling it, and I did wind up finding it. And it's the lesson is both brutal and hopeful. Survival is not the same as freedom, and the only way to break the cycle of violence is to write your own ending. I liked
I love that. I love that. And it's true. Hard to apply, but true,
that.
right? Um, were you shocked by the end of the book? Did you like the way it ended?
Oh my God. So I don't know if I just stopped at a wrong point and then picked back up on it to finish out the book, but I felt like the ending was like so anticlimactic and so quick. Like it was almost like it was too, what's the word I'm looking for, too predictable.
I didn't predict it, but I thought it was too quick. the way it was wrapped up. I would have liked way more character explanation to Alice's like future, like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
kind
or
of
even just like more with the whole like her taking Sabine out or whatever her name
right,
is now. But it was
Charlotte.
like I don't know, it felt rushed.
It was, and the rest felt lengthy and in depth and beautiful and just like so much meaning. And then the end was kind of like, well, it's over, and it's like, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. How about you, Nana? The mute always gives us trouble.
Always gets me. Like I thought I figured it out, and then this like off one week and completely forgot where it was at. So I agree. Like the ending felt like we were in this slow build for 400 pages, right? Like this slow like climb, like it was like all foreplay, and then he came fast. Like, it
Very
was
good way
over.
of describing it.
It was over like so fast, and like I felt like it was just a sprint to the end. In fact, when she killed Lottie, I had to go back because I was like, was this an accident? Like, was it an accident? And then she just didn't say anything once it started happening. And I was like, no, I feel like even though that the poison wasn't intended for her, she just made a decision to let it happen because of all of that like anger and hurt that was already there. And I have to say,
She did tell Alice, I'm tired.
yeah,
She couldn't, she didn't have the strength. So you're right.
yeah,
She may have done it on purpose.
yeah. Yeah, I just, um, and then last week there was a part way back in like page 212, and I don't have my book with me, so I'm really frustrated. Um, it was just a really beautiful moment, and I'll find it and like post it into the group afterwards. And I
Yeah.
think that would be my favorite part of the book. It was just really good. So I'll post that later, and then we can,
I would love to see what it was. There are so many wonderful quotes and moments in the book. The writing style for me was on point. Until the very end, it started to lack luster. So I get it. That middle meaty section from like halfway through really was intense. How about you, Jessica? What are you and Diane feeling, and like how is the ending for you? Any quotes, anything that really stood out?
So I agree. I feel like the ending kind of got rushed. Um, I found the quote that Aaron was talking about, where it's Alice's mom saying something about tired minds being good soil for bad thoughts. How the best thing you can do is go to bed. And I thought that was a pretty good one. What
Love
really
that.
caught my attention, though, was after Sabine snaps and Charlotte runs off to Jack and Antonia to
Hmm.
kind of try and sort things out. And she asks Antonia, "Why are you being so kind?" And her response, "We grow together in this garden," was just, I was like, I feel like I wanted a little bit more like community, like vampire togetherness happening, and they just could not get to that.
I felt like it was an undertone, but I think it was more focused on the separation of them and their selfishness to survive and stuff was more of a focus. And you're right, that's not typical. Like it's I don't know if you guys watch Buffy, but there's like vampire dens. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it was different for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karen, how about you? What are your thoughts on the ending or any favorite quotes or anything like that?
So I had a couple quotes.
Yay. You know how much I love my quotes.
Um, this is when George Preston is killed. It says, and until that moment, Charlotte didn't know if she believed in souls, but now she has no doubt. The body is a different thing when life has fled. At once too heavy and too late, a vessel she is emptied.
Ooh, had a goosebumps. Yes, yes, uh-huh.
And then I had um It's Sabine saying, people die. She says, every hour of every day. The vast majority will do so through accident or sickness, age or folly. And yes, a handful at our hands. Death comes, and sometimes it's kind, and often it's cruel, and very rarely is it welcomed. But it comes all the same. The difference is we make something of that death. Their loss is our gain.
That's hard stuff, but it's true. There's so much truth. It's just hard to swallow.
And then I think one of my favorite parts of the book was when Charlotte meets Jocelyn again. And
Mhm.
Jocelyn says, I dream of another life, one where I wasn't so afraid. I was such a coward, Lottie, she murmurs, and that name cracked something deep inside her. So I thought it was very bittersweet that Jocelyn realized she made the wrong decision.
So there's a phenomenon called late in life lesbians, and it happens a lot. And they've been married to a man for 20, 25 years. And they realize I made a horrible decision. This was wrong for me. And then like are brand new to, and it's like the fact that she knew I would, but I think it was the time and place that she couldn't like move over and change and be different. You know what I mean? It wasn't as easily done as it is now. But yeah, I thought that too. She was just a pile of regret, basically. How about you, Udi?
I agree with Karen. Those were some of mine, but I also really enjoyed Alice killing Sabine. I
I
felt like
knew
it was
you would. I knew you
I
would.
felt like it was justice come like revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yes.
But I did not expect Charlotte.
Unfortunately, I feel like they all were left with one emotion, and I think Alice's was anger.
Yeah.
And when her and Lottie first sleep together and she puts it in the book and she's like she tasted like grief. A lot of people say if you look at your anger, underneath it is grief. So I just wonder if that's because of when she was changed, that's what she was left with. And it's
Mhm.
unfortunate too, because if that wouldn't have happened to her, I think she could have healed, you know?
Right. Exactly. I agree.
Yeah. Stephanie, how about you? I know the ending was shocking to you. I saw your post in book club. I'm like, oh no, what the actual hell just happened?
So I like one of the quotes where Sabine and Charlotte have been together over 50 years, and Charlotte really wants to believe Sabine, and she says, and here's the awful thing about belief. It is a current like compulsion, hard to forge when it goes against your will, but easy enough when it carries you the way you want to go.
Oh,
I
so
think that's
true.
powerful. And yeah, I was really, I mean, it was anticlimactic. I agree with everybody else. It just, it should have had a different ending, I think. But I
Hmm.
understand where Alice is coming from, why she killed both of them. But I only expected her to kill Sabine, honestly, not Charlotte.
And at first, I thought she wouldn't be able to do either. So they do both. It was
Yeah,
like, holy crap, what, where'd this come from? I get it, but I didn't think she had it in her,
yeah.
you know? Um, yeah, that quote hit me too. I tell people all the time, like, that are like in a bad relationship or they're getting ready to break up with somebody and they're like, this is my only person. And I'm like, there's 7 billion people in the world. Like, you'll be fine. Like, you're having tunnel vision, oxytocin and love do this to people, but you can't, the heart wants what the heart wants, you know? I had a couple. My absolute favorite, the one that really hit me, that stuck with me and I couldn't stop thinking about it is the hunger lives inside us all. To some it is an empty bucket, to others a yawning pit, and yet no matter how shallow or how deep it feels, here is a truth that will either drive you mad or bring you peace. he sits for. There's no filling it. You will never be satiated. It does not matter whether you drink a carafe or drain a city, the hunger will not ease. And I don't know, but for me, I always have FOMO. I live in a constant state of fear of missing out, and I'm never satiated or think that I have done enough or felt enough. So that, I don't know, just really, I don't think that there's enough importance to some of the side characters. Like Aaron was explaining, like Lottie's mom, like Charlotte's mom, she had amazing quotes. And Hector had some, and Jocelyn, the one that Charlotte dated, like her role was really important too, and it got missed out on. So what we're going to start on now is your guys' questions, and we'll start back with Stephanie. We're going to start with the first one, and that is Udi. Um, would you have done what Alice did, or would you have chosen differently, and why? I think we touched upon it a little bit, but I really want to know it from your point of view.
I think I would have probably done the same thing, but I don't know if I would have let Charlotte drink the ashes. I don't think I could have done that. But yeah, Sabine deserved to die because she was just an asshole and she should have not been doing what she was doing. And Lottie, she just got caught in a bad situation. I mean, she tried to do the humane thing and not suck people's blood. You know, she's killed a few people, but I don't, but she wasn't into it like Sabine was.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very Sabine was feral, and
Hmm.
Charlotte tried to control herself as much as she possibly could. There was a difference. However, I would rather, what made me so angry is that I thought Charlotte was like damaged and hurting. I didn't think that she was a wolf too, per se. Like, from the very beginning, Sabine's an asshole. She's out for herself. I was
Hmm.
decepted by Charlotte, and then she goes and does a really terrible thing. And it's like, I would have rather known from the beginning she was a jerk than think she was a good person and then her do that to Alice. That really broke my
Yeah.
heart and ruined her character for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Udi, how about you, honey?
Um, I don't know if I could have killed Charlotte, but I wrecked Sabine shit. I would have made sure she fucking. I wouldn't have. See, the thing with it being rushed is I think that if it wasn't rushed, she probably would have lost because Sabine has like 500 years of killing people underneath her belt.
Yeah,
Um, so I am because I would like to take my time with her.
yeah.
Um, but Charlotte, I feel like maybe I would have let her drink it because it would have just like paralyzed her or whatever. But I don't know if I could have stabbed her in the heart. I
So,
feel like she was a lost soul and she just wanted to be loved.
ugh. Yeah, she became my least favorite character, but um, with killing Sabine and Alice's motives. Let's say that Charlotte didn't tell you. You'll be, because you're a newborn, you'll be freed and have your little life back. Let's say would you have just killed her to kill her for what she did? Or would your motive have been to get your life back?
I think my motive would have been to get my life back, and she's kind of someone that knows what to do. At least until I find, at least until her value like wears out. She's
Hmm.
only valuable until I can, do whatever I want, and then I probably would have offed her ass.
I was curious about that because I know you get into your anger feels.
Yeah, because like I'm also a newborn. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what is like.
Right.
I feel bad because she was kind of like out in the thrown to the wolves, but she did it to herself.
Mm-hmm.
too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel bad in that aspect, but I would like to have a mentor of some sort, at least until I could
Hello.
find somebody else.
Yeah, like big time. There's like major rules that you miss out on, like just for basic survival. And
Exactly.
the loneliness and isolation. I don't know. I was just like, if you're going to turn somebody, have the actual decency to at least give them a leg to stand on. Yeah, totally agree. So it's like, good evening. How are you? It's so good to see you.
Good to see you all. Yeah, I realized that you guys always see me like at my most tore up because it's
No.
like Sunday evening and I'm like doing stuff around the house all day.
This is my favorite look on you, but maybe that's because of my preferences. But I think you look most gorgeous just like this.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, stretch.
So, okay, what's the question? I think
Okay,
I missed the question.
so I will come back to, I'm going to go on to Karen, but what we
Okay.
have missed is just your favorite quotes, favorite moments, and then I'm going to reiterate the question now for Karen, and it is Udi's question, and it is, if you were Alice, would you have done what she did, or would you have chosen differently and why? And I guess that's just applying to Charlotte and Sabine's ending.
Um, I believe that I would have killed them both, um, Charlotte and Sabine, um, because similar to you, Billy, it's like I lost all respect for Lottie at the end. I I didn't like that she lied to Alice. I mean, I understood the reason why because she couldn't kill Sabine herself, but in the fact that once she knew that Sabine was killing her one night stands that she was having,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would have just not hooked up with anybody else because I'm like, why would you keep doing that if you know that Sabine is going to do that? And then Lottie also killed the people that Sabine turned.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I so yeah, I lost all respect for Lottie after that. So, Sabine, yeah, she needed to go. She was
Yeah, yeah. She
she
had
was
caused
just
enough mayhem. She had had enough time. Yeah, I agree. I
so.
totally agree. I'm so glad to hear your point of view, though, because I felt bad because I grew a likeness and a kindredness to Charlotte and that character. But then when she was with Sabine, I was like, she didn't leave and she was unhappy and all she ever did was complain. And I was like, you are weak and pathetic and you're going to do something really bad. You're going to have a breaking point. And if she just would have handled it differently back when she was strong enough to kill her,
Right.
does anybody know? Was it anywhere in the book that you can't kill your maker? Is it impossible? Did anybody, that was my only question. So you can't.
It
Yeah, I
was the
think what
promise that she
oh,
made
sorry.
her.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She she um she didn't know what she was saying when
And she
Sabine said,
said it.
"Don't hurt me." And she was just like, "Okay, whatever you say, I won't hurt you." And then that is binding.
That changes it. That changes it a little bit. Yeah. I was getting real frustrated. But if you can't, yeah, makes sense. Um, ugh, yeah. Jessica, how about you? Would you have done what Alice did? Would you have gone about it differently? What would your motives have been?
Um, I don't know. Sabine needed killing, but I don't know that I would have gone so far as to kill Lottie. I mean, she lied, and I don't know that I'd want to have anything to do with her.
Hmm.
But like, why not have someone that can answer questions? Although I guess she's got access to Ezra, and he's probably a better mentor. But I just, I felt like Lottie was in like the world's most drawn out abusive supernatural relationship. And it wasn't so much that, I mean, obviously the promise kept her from killing Sabine, but I think also she didn't want to be alone. You know, she never lost her humanity, and I don't know that Sabine ever had any.
1000% agree. I think that whatever's your strongest, and by this book's perspective, whatever your strongest emotion or feeling or personality trait, the point of being turned is what sticks with you and becomes like
Yeah.
the core part of you. I think you make a really good point with that. That was so drawn out and so painful and just frustrating for me.
Yes.
Yeah, not that I don't love her storyline though, and it's not like it's unrelatable, you know? How many of us
Yeah.
have been in really long, drawn out, horrible you know what I mean? And Anna, what would you have done if you were Alice?
So I think I agree with the most of us in saying like Sabine needed to go. She was past her expiration date, and her feralness was harming others, right? I had a really hard time with Alice's choices when it came to Lottie, and that's why I had to go back and read that part again because I was like, why would you let that happen? Right? I understood her anger, but I think my empathy for Lottie was too big.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw the abusive relationship that was existing. I saw her loneliness and her ache to be with someone, the trauma there, and her like she was trying to still have a connection with people or with other women, but not so much so that it would attract Sabine.
Right.
And I think that was her hope with the one night stands, and she was trying to keep them secret and just move through them quickly. Um, I just like I saw her, and I empathized with her in such a big way, and so it was really hard for me to agree with how Alice had like just decided to let her go. I also had this like I saw Alice's anger, right? Her sense of betrayal. And then like we're riding through Alice's grief about her
Right.
sister Patty the whole time as well. So you have like this deep connection with her as well. I don't think I could have killed Lottie. I don't think I could have. I saw her too much. Like even her manipulative behavior is indicative of someone who has been through an abusive situation and trying to find some sort of power in a relationship. So
Mhm.
I just I couldn't have done it. But Alice is 18. She has this moment where she's like, how am I supposed to kill Sabine? She's got 500 years and I'm only 18.
Right.
So understanding Alice's youth as well, like I also like I'm not angry at Alice for her choices. I just wish she had made some other ones.
You bring up a really, really good point about Lottie, and maybe it bothered me so much because it's so relatable to me. Um, I just feel like she did so much damage and she did it so deceptively. Like, I do bad things. We all do. But I'm trying to be like honest and transparent about it. Like I tell people right from the get-go, like I'm crazy. Like I'm probably gonna hurt you somewhere along the path. I just felt like she hurt so many people
Mhm.
unintentionally, but that's what sometimes
Yeah.
happens after what she went through. So I really appreciate your perspective. And I also felt like Lottie dying was a one-off. Like, why was that necessary? Where
Yeah.
did that come from? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Sabine had saw the relationship with, oh, I forgot his name, who she meets in Italy.
Yes.
And
I have it. I have it. Mateo is no, no, no. Um,
I don't know why I can't.
oh, it's that couple. The couple that
Right,
yeah,
right. So she,
Alessandro and then it's Mateo.
yeah. And so she
Mhm.
sees their relationship and this love that they had. And so she wants to recreate that for herself, and I don't think that she's capable. And so instead of having this loving relationship, she has an obsessive relationship with Lottie. And so that is like how it like feeds into her feralness and how she becomes so abusive in the end because she's literally that's her obsession. It's not a healthy love. And she was
Oh,
just like kind of like copy pasting, but she was missing the nuance in the paste. Is how I like was looking at it. But yeah.
oh, that's very eye-opening. Yes, yes, yeah. I had more compassion for her because I knew from the start that she was feral and innately selfish. I really bonded with Charlotte, and then she really
Yeah.
disappointed me. But hearing your take on it, I'm like, well, maybe she deserves some empathy. She went through some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Nikki? Would you have done what Alice did?
Copy paste to what Anana said. She just hit every point I was going to make because I felt the
Really?
same way. Felt super empathetic for Lottie for all the shit that she went through. She was really just trying to find that love of hers. I feel like one of the main reasons that not that you should never lie to anybody, but I feel like the reason that she lied to Alice is because she didn't have the backbone. She couldn't kill Sabine herself. And I think she felt like the only way to get Alice to do it was, tell a little fib
Yeah.
in her
How many
in her
little
eyes.
how
I
many
mean, it's not
little fibs did she tell to get all those people in bed
So
knowing
many.
that Sabine could kill him? She had a lot of little fibs. And I
just
think
a
I
little bit.
got just a little bit. And I think for me, my most favorite trait in people was honesty. And that she messed me up with all of the deception. And I was like, you lying little weak turd, do something.
She did, but I mean, she went through some shit. So
She
I
did.
did
You're
feel
right.
bad for her.
Yes, you're
Because
right.
as somebody who's been in situations like that, like the toxic relationship with Sabine, I kind of can empathize with her because I know like your mind's not straight in situations like that.
Right. Right. Yeah. And then it just intensified for her. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
she was stuck in that emotions. It's a little bit different, but still. I have issues.
Yeah.
Now I know, Gwen, that our character likes throughout the entire book have been different. So I'm really curious about your take now at the end. And would you have done what Alice did?
So I had some empathy for Charlotte. She was, definitely in a bad situation and did what she felt was necessary to cure the situation. Was it the right way? No, definitely not. It was deceptive, everything else. Did she deserve to die for it? I don't think so. Now if I was Alice, would I have done it that way? I definitely would have killed Sabine because I would want to get my life back. And then when I found out that Lottie lied to me, and I was only 18, I may have killed Lottie. I may have been livid enough that she took my life to kill her, honestly. I may have been angry enough that I lost my life, so she should lose hers. Um, because I'm faulted too. But I would like to say that I wouldn't. But I may. So yeah, I don't know. I don't fault Alice for it at all. She's young and very upset that she lost her life.
Yes, I think so too. And I think she lived in a state of wanting it back or not wanting to exist at all. So I can imagine the rage that she felt, realizing that, okay, you kind of took my life twice. You gave me hope that I would have it. You killed me twice. That's how I felt like she felt. And you're right, she was really young. So first, did you have any favorite quotes or favorite moments?
No, I like Ezra.
I love Ezra.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, I loved his character. And I love the way he adapted with the times and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um,
So
how would you have behaved if you were in Alice's situation when that happened?
I think I'm like the big a-hole in this group because I would have popped them both when I was 18. I would have popped them both right now at 47. Like, nope,
Hmm.
fucked up. But I think that it's not that I don't have any empathy for Lottie, but I
Mhm.
have the same amount of empathy for Sabine, and she has the same problem. She has like a slightly different flavor of the same problems. It's like vanilla and French vanilla. It's
Mhm.
not that serious of a difference, right? They're both just hungry, hungry, hungry for things that their life didn't get them. And instead of finding some way to empower themselves at any given point in time, they're like, how do I take this from someone else? Also, girl, if somebody is going around and killing your one night stands, I'm sorry. You can order some stuff on Amazon. It's going to be here tomorrow. You're going to get that free shipping. You get yourself some rechargeable batteries. It's like,
Right. Yeah,
right?
they've got plug-in ones out. Like there's a
W- Waste
whole thing.
not, want not, girl. Get it
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Like, and the thing is she knew that that was happening and continued to do that over and over and over and over again. So do I necessarily believe that yes, Hitachi Wanpro, exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
They last forever. She could use one for 100 years, like
Mhm.
Jesus.
Yes.
So,
Uh,
but I don't necessarily believe that Lottie didn't turn Alice to use her to kill Sabine so she could be
you
rid of
knew.
Sabine and just be out there hoeing willy-nilly.
Yeah, you
I
knew.
have no problem with hoeing willy-nilly, but be honest with yourself.
That is my biggest. So the whole thing you said right from the start, I may be the asshole in this group. You owned it. That is what I liked about Sabine. And then the fact that like their motives were different, right? And for the bad things that they did, but they still both did really bad shit to a whole bunch of
Like,
people.
I feel like the motives, the core of the motives is the same, is
Mm,
I want what I want, and I don't care what it costs anyone else.
nope.
And
And
that's why
did that happen in the vampire brain? Like, is there any
brains.
exception? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you lose that ability to even consider?
Ezra didn't, Mateo didn't,
You're
lots
right.
of other people didn't. I think these ladies, I think they're just bitches. And like in general, I love bitches. Those are my people. I get them. Like, I love
Yes.
them. But there's levels.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Like,
Okay.
give me a cranky bitch every day, but not an evil bitch. And definitely not a liar. I hate liars.
Oh my God. The lying, I just was sick. I even messaged Gwen at some point and was like, but you knew something you had said in your prediction. There's something deceptive about Charlotte. You know how exes can be. She's a dirty bitch. I know it. And, but you didn't know exactly what, but you knew the vibe. You knew something was
It's
off.
lots of valuable experience with festive exes. So
Hmm.
there's that.
Hmm. Yes. How about you, Aaron? Would you now I can't see you ever taking anyone's life, even Sabine's. So, in Alice's position, what would you have done?
I think in Alice's position, since she thought that she was like, if it were me and I thought that I were going to get my life back, I would have. Without the knowledge that I could have been getting my life back, I probably wouldn't have. I would have been too scared. Like, she's 500 years old. She's wise. She's strong. I'm never going to be able to kill her. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to,
Find someone else. I am
yeah, I'm
not the
just going
one.
to take it. Yeah.
Find another tribute.
Um, would I have killed Lottie? I don't know. I feel like I may have like wanted to keep her just for knowledge. However, personally, like thinking back on it and like playing parts of the book over in my head, I feel like there were a lot of things that Lottie did that I just, sort of brushed under the rug. Like, I feel like I do not like the way that she treated Alice. I don't like that she lied to her, that she manipulated her into doing this. But also I don't think that she was as good of a person as it made it seem. I feel like we just saw the good parts of her, because even I thought back to this one scene that keeps playing in my head is there was a war and first of all, before I get into that, I'm going to say she keeps saying that she doesn't like to kill. She doesn't like to kill, but she keeps doing it over and over and over again. She could have just drank without killing them. They
Right.
can compel people. I mean, I think it said it was a learned skill, but she could have learned it if she wanted to. She learned how to claim space. Um, but the scene that keeps playing in my head is Alice or Lottie is like, it was the war, and she's like, I want to help people. Like, how can I help? I feel so bad. And Sabine was being cruel when she said this, but she was being truthful. She said, Alice, don't, or Lottie, don't act like more men haven't died from your hands than died in this entire war. So she keeps killing people, but says she doesn't like doing it. I think that I know that she's not showing us this part of her life. It's like how the author wrote it, but I feel like we're only seeing like how she's being portrayed as a good person or a good being, but deep down she's not.
Yeah, yes, more deception. And it
Yeah,
could have been her own delusion. We can give her the benefit of the doubt there. But the fact that she aged so long, you're right, she could have learned skills, she could have grown, she could have become something completely different and chose not to.
right.
But like everyone said, she was abused a lot. And like sometimes people take that abuse and turn it into something really bad. But still, to be mad at Sabine for what she was doing to her and then turn around and do abuse to other people is just so icky to me. I just lost respect for her. I got Sabine. I knew from the very beginning that that's what she was going to be. And why I think she's evil and she's selfish, I respected her standing in her own truth. Where with Charlotte, I'm like, girl, you got work to do on yourself. There's some shit going on here, and you're hurting a lot of people. So, it's really cool to hear everyone's perspectives, though, because I think those feelings are where we are in our place in our own life. It helps me see you guys better. So that was a great question, Udi. Thank you. We're going to start back with you, Erin, and this was your question. Would you have continued to take lovers? And you were and it applies to all three of them, honestly. But you had said Lottie, and um you had met Alice. But still, it applies to all three. Would you have continued to take lovers knowing what she was going to put them in danger? Um, I don't know. I don't even know how to phrase that, but like, would you have wanted to? I guess this is the good question. Would you have wanted to just have one night stands, feed, compel them, move on? Would you have wanted to have a long life with them in the way that Mateo and Alessandro did? Or would you have wanted a companion like as a vampire? You know what I mean? Like morally speaking, because like knowing what could happen to these people.
Um, I don't know. I feel like if you have a life without connection, that's kind of like a sad life to live. I feel like it's important to have connections and to feel love. So if I were in Lottie's position, I really don't know what I would have done because I love love and I don't like being lonely, but she can't build a lasting relationship with somebody. So like in my mind at first I was like she's only doing this to get connection, to feel something. But then the more we read it, we realize she knows that Sabine is killing these girls. Sabine may not kill every single one of them, but Sabine is killing them and she's still doing it. So I would hope that I would say no. I wouldn't do it. I would just honestly, and I hate to say this because I'm completely against it, but I don't think she's human anyway. I'd probably just take my own life. I mean,
Mm.
she's already however old she is. What was she like? At least 100 years older, almost at this point. I can't remember
Right.
when. So she's already lived a long life,
Mm-hmm.
and her life has no value because she can't. I feel like this is just me, my opinion. Her life has no value because she can't make connections with anybody. So she's just floating around. She doesn't have connections. She doesn't have like a solid place to live. She has. She's just existing.
She's just a little vagabond going around hurting people from person. But I'll tell you something. She's weak. We know that, right? Like she's a very weak person. Following through on taking your own life takes so much courage.
Yeah, I'm sure it
She's
does.
too cowardly. And like Karen or Udi alluded to, maybe she just drank it knowing that she was gonna, because she's just too cowardly to do it on her own.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Cecily, would you have made someone your vampire companion? Would you have done your Amazon and cafe wine, the fake like what would you have done?
So honestly, once I figured out that I couldn't kill Sabine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone and been honest with some other vampires and been like, hey, this is what is happening. Can you help me? Because
Yeah.
some of them are community. And one thing the community does is help protect each other. So if there's a predator among you who is making things horrible, maybe she could have asked for help, like a grown person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. So that would have been my first step.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I would have bought all the different kinds of toys.
Yeah.
750 million different kinds.
Yeah.
I mean, and she's not killing her friends. She has friends.
She does.
She's
Companions, and
friends
she
with
never.
Ezra.
Right.
She could have talked to Ezra and been like, "Hey, do you know a vampire hitman? Like, can you help me out here, buddy?"
I
Like
I was
she had
confunted with
other
that.
options and she's just
A weasel, like you said, and I hate
yeah.
that. I hate that, but I think that, but I just there's too much time. Like yes, she went through hell, but there had to have been
Who
some
didn't?
point.
Who didn't? Who didn't?
Right,
On Earth. Everyone
right.
has. All of us have had horrible experiences. I don't know one single person on Earth over the age of 13 who has not experienced some trauma. And it
You're right.
is horrible and it is bad and it is all that. And it is also not an excuse.
I love that. I love
So,
that. And I need to hear that more often because
yeah,
I get
no,
lost
fuck
in my
her.
feels, just like Aaron. And I'm like, but she was hurting and we have to give her a little bit of empathy. And the next thing we know, we're
No,
both like, oh, poor
no,
body.
no, listen, I'm hurting too. And I don't go out and biff people
Me
every day
either.
or
And
every
I
third day. I'm not
preach.
out there getting young women killed
Yeah.
just because I have a big sad. Like, I'm no, I don't care. Get it together, get a therapist. You have tons of time.
Yes.
You
Oh
can
my
make
God.
time for therapy, girl. Get it.
Yeah. I love that. I love that take because I was so there. Gwen, how about you? So, in your perspective, would you have continued to change people, kill people, have a companion?
I would have done none of that. I would have been completely giving Sabine no ground to stand on, giving her no excuse, giving her no place to come except for at me. I would never put anyone else in danger like that. That would never happen. And then as Cicely said, I mean, she had these connections with these vampires. That's how she came to America. Why not ask them for that help? I mean, why not say, hey, look, that woman you helped me escape from, she followed me here. She's killing people that, I'm with, and she's stalking me. I can't kill her because of a promise I made to her. And I'm bound by that promise, through the vampire stuff. Can you guys kill her for me? I'll owe you one, you know? Um, why not? I mean, I'm sure they would do it. I mean, so that's what I was thinking.
I, for me personally, I don't, it takes a lot, but she has too much time. I don't go to my community when I immediately should. It is like, I did this, I made my bed, I'm going to clean my mess, I'm going to take responsibility. But you're right, she did go too long in that situation. The fact that she branched out to me is unfreaking excusable after she realized that what she went through was going to affect other people. Just so selfish. Nikki, how about you?
Yeah, Cicely pretty much hit the nail on the head there. Ask
Yeah.
for help. Because from all the vampire lore I've ever read, turning somebody against their will is always shamed upon. And I could absolutely see if she were to ask for help, they would see, they would do something about it because they don't agree with that.
Right. Somebody along the lines of all that time would have had some kind of compassion or decency, like Ezra, to, allocate some resources
Yeah.
of some kind. Anana, did you have any input that you would like to share? Like, would you? I feel like taking a mate and converting them if they want to live forever and be vampires together is an okay option. Um, to have a love forever and we just compel people and bite them and don't kill anyone. Like, I think that's an okay option. But the other ones are just tough.
So I kind of I kind of have a problem of the way we're talking about Lottie.
Yes,
And
please share.
I want to move a little bit carefully here, but because in all of this conversation around Lottie and her lovers, we are calling her things like weak, or we're taking the like weight of things off of her abuser, right? And that she is escaping in any way, shape, or form. And we judge our ability to manage loneliness in our limited lifetimes and
Okay.
not in terms of hundreds of years. Okay. So that kind of like, I don't know, that's the thought process. Now, I do agree that she should have sought therapy. Like if I'm going to tell a man seek therapy, I'm going to tell someone who has multiple lifetimes to seek therapy. Um, but on the other side of it is she did go to help. Like she immediately went to Antonia and Jack and was like, "Hey, I need help." And their help was to help her run. And then she found Ezra, and Ezra understood the situation and only helped her to continue the escape. So her community was well aware of the abuse that she was experiencing, but only helped in limited ways. So there's a conversation to be had in terms of how you can show up better as a community for victims of abuse,
Yeah,
vice, like
very
putting
much so.
blame, right. So they knew the abuse that she was like the trauma that she was experiencing regularly and running, and like under having little bit of understanding in that term of like her looking to these one night stands to appease some level of that. And
That's
remember, like in the
true.
beginning, she didn't want to kill the people that she was like drinking from. And the very first time she does that, not only does Sabine kill the man, but then she brings back two other hearts.
Yes.
So she killed multiple people because Lottie did not kill the one. And so we have to understand how that trauma like continues to play into her choices. Now she knows that Sabine is going to kill anyone that she doesn't kill and any other bystander. Vice, if I just kill this person, this one person, then I'm saving two others, right? So that's in her mind. That was her fresh, that was the like what the second kill she ever had.
Yeah,
So
you're
her
right. You're right about
tasting
that.
of the girls and like doing those one night stands, and she's trying to find that ground where Sabine isn't catching up, or like what level of obsession does Sabine have that then makes the girls a victim. So she kills Penny, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the girl that she falls in love with.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from that point on, she doesn't have serious relationships. So she has like backed off. So what did she's like a trial and error. Like she's
What
still
if what if
that,
she
I
would
don't
have
know.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I kind of want to I wonder if what do you think about if she would have turned like if she would have fell in love with
Hmm.
somebody or turned them and they were vampires together and together they killed Sabine. And if they weren't strong enough, why not build your own poly little commune to kill Sabine? Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, I think, and so like the one girl that Sabine does turn into a vampire,
Mm-hmm.
Lottie takes responsibility for it because she doesn't want to be a vampire, and so she kills the girl.
Yes.
So I know that like there's that, I can't remember which victim that was. So she tells Alice, "You're special," and I have to wonder like if it was
The grief.
Alice's grief and anxiety that allowed, like, her brain was so scattered and it kept going into other time periods, and she was like having all of these things that it allowed her to get close enough to Sabine to be able to kill her.
Yes.
Like those
Yes.
are that was the like, did Lottie finally find the person that was going to be able to like exact her revenge or
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of her abuser?
That's what
But
I
to say
said.
that she didn't ask for help is like kind of not really understanding the way we as community should be working. And that is, we all knew that Lottie was experiencing abuse on some level, and we as a community failed to provide that protection to the level that she needed. So,
I love that point of view, and it happens so often. It's extremely important to point that out. It is pervasive everywhere. And however, with the caveat of I cannot help but think the time that she used and what she did with it and how she could have been cultivating and making an army if she had to take this woman out. But you're right. There is a very well, why didn't you leave? Is the first question that all abuse victims are asked. And it's like, I didn't leave because I couldn't. Like there's a lot there. And
yeah,
that's really important to bring up.
right. And we always say, like, well, leaving is the most dangerous part of getting out of an abusive like relationship. So
Hmm.
she did that part, but Sabine's obsession with her is what like continued to be the thing. And that loneliness when you're continuing to be a victim,
Hmm.
right? She's never left the status of being a victim until Sabine was dead. And so she had those few moments of not being a victim until she was yet again a victim to Alice. So I don't like that was
I
the
like that you brought it up. It's so, so important. I think as somebody who was in a very extremely abusive situation, to the point I didn't know at the time, but she strangled me, and that's the last point before they kill you. Um, I bit the artery out of her arm to save my life from her killing me. Like I vein hanging out, blood splurting everywhere. I clawed my way out of that. And so it's hard for me sometimes to see it from that point of view. Everyone is different though. And I think for me, I was just so disappointed. Like, why are you not fighting for yourself appropriately? Like, there has to be a way. But you're right. We cannot do that because that makes it even harder for victims to leave. We have to have some type of empathy for that. And I appreciate your thoughts on it a lot, so much. Jessica, how about you? So, would you turn someone to have a life with them? Would you do like Sabine did and just go absolutely feral? Or would you have been like Lottie and just stuck?
I I don't know. So listening to what everyone has to say, I definitely agree with Anana that we are completely discounting the level of abuse, and the time period over which the abuse occurred was much longer than any human has endured abuse. And then I feel like it's really important to mention too, because we all mentioned how young Alice is.
Mm-hmm.
How old was Lottie when she was turned? Do our brains continue to develop as vampires, or has she got, like an 18, 19-year-old brain, even though she's 150? Does she not have that ability for
Mm.
growth? I mean, I'd like to think that, like, I mean, I've been in an abusive relationship. I've done questionable things while in that relationship. And I feel like, though I really agree with everyone saying, like, radical honesty, asking for help, that's really the only way out of that situation. But it takes a lot more effort than you would think
Oh my God.
to be radically honest and to to be vulnerable and to pick the right person, because the thing is when you're in an abusive relationship, telling the wrong person could that could be it for
Hmm.
you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and that may have been how Lottie felt. I feel like she was trapped, and I feel like the only way to go about like turning someone would be to be like, hey, so this is the situation, here's what you're going to experience, and also I've got this jealous ex who is going to be a problem, and I can't kill them, and here's why. And then see if that person is still like, yes, turn me and let's take this bitch down, and we'll
Hmm.
be living happily forever after. I feel like that's the only healthy way you could go about that, though.
You bring up so many points. Uh, All of this. However, I don't know. So vampires are extremely strong and capable of things that you and I aren't. I will say though, in my situation, I perpetually choose abusers. I have posted all the time. If you find me attractive, if you like me at all, immediately walk away and go to therapy. There is something wrong with you. I pull these people in. It's like a moth to a flame. It is so humiliating to go to people and be like, y'all, I done fucked up again. I am stuck and trapped and getting abused again. It's horrible. It's awful. And that's just probably why I don't reach out. And maybe she just didn't know how, but like the strength that they have and the will just amazes me that somehow, somewhere, Sabine wasn't ended.
Yeah.
It just is shocking to me. Um, but yeah, you bring up amazing points, and you're right. That could have been the end of a lot of people's existence, not just Lottie. Sabine could have like taken out a whole entire city, you know? Karen, how about you? I think you had mentioned that you would take a mate. Is that right?
Um, no, I don't think I mentioned anything about that, but as a lot of other people said, like I would probably want to inform somebody of what was happening
Hmm.
before I would turn them and make sure that they understand what it really means, because it doesn't seem like, obviously Sabine didn't really, I don't think Sabine really understood what it meant either when she turned, and I know Lottie didn't understand it
Hmm.
either. It just kind of came across as like, oh, you're free.
Hmm.
Well, what does that mean? Like, you know, I don't think either one of them understood what that meant going into it. And I think that the original Sabine should have explained to Sabine Maria, what
Hmm.
what was going to happen,
Oh, I was mad about that too. Hmm.
and the same with Sabine and Lottie. I think she should have explained it more. Now, I thought Sabine was crazy before
He
she
was.
turned. I mean, she was not a nice person before she turned, and she um did that. But I did like the story of Mateo and
Oh, I
uh,
found you. Me
you
too.
know, because it's, I think we mentioned like in the previous group, like turning somebody who didn't want to be turned was a form of rape.
Hmm.
And, um, and then nobody should have been turned if they didn't want to. And so, I can definitely understand, Alice's anger
Yes.
about the whole situation because she didn't choose it. She didn't even know what was happening. Like nobody said, she didn't even get you'll be free. She got
Hmm.
nothing.
Right.
She didn't know what in the world was going on. And I would be very mad. I would be very, especially to find out there really was no reason for her to be turned except for Sabine being a jealous bitch. And
Exactly. And I think if we take for I love you. I love that you take the time to really think things out. And you're so wise and you're not like this extreme, passionate, knee-jerk reaction. Like you really break it down. And I love your point of view every time. So I just want to say that. Um, what really stood out to me is with Alice at the end and why she had so much rage. Not only did they take her human life from her, but her mom and her sister had already died. And so for her, death in 50, 60 years would have been a reunification. They took that away from her too. You know what I mean? Like I get her rage completely. And yeah, you make some really, really good points. I think for me, Sabine Maria was born wild and feral and lacked that from the start. Somewhere along the way from trauma or what have you, it was taken from Lottie. That's the difference. For me, if you had it, take it back. Find a way and take it back. Become who you were before. That was my biggest problem. Also, as somebody who's been in trauma and also loves one night stands and also is a polyamorous, everybody knows this. I tell people right from the jump, this is just delay. I am not going to develop feelings for you. No, I am not going to hurt you. And no, she's not honest with any of them. And
right.
that
And yeah,
bothers me.
I think for me too, when you ask the question, like, would I turn somebody to be a mate? I have always been a very independent person. So, um,
You can
and
love
I see a
Cicely.
lot of people who are not independent people, and it, it sometimes makes me sad, very sad to see that because of the fact that, um, like when my husband and I met, we've been married for 11 years now. So we were both adults when we got married. He had kids, etc. I owned my own place. He didn't. So we were in different, we were in the same, we're about 4 years apart, but we were both adults and later we were in our, I was in my late 30s. Um, but I told him, I was like, I want to be with you. I don't need to be with. Like, I can support myself. And I told him from the get-go, I can support myself. I don't need you to support me financially. I don't need you to buy me a place. I have my own place.
Got my own car,
Um,
my own house, my own
yeah,
keys. INDPP. That's on. Yeah.
and I said, I've made some really bad choices in my life, and I walked away like before my husband and I met. I was single for like 3 years, and that was by choice. That was because I was like, I'm done with the losers. I'm done with
The
people
scrubs.
who are just trying to use me for something or other. So, but the women I see around me who are very codependent and very, they have to have somebody. I feel sad
I do
because
too.
I even see it in my own daughters. Like I see, um, the very like they have to have somebody.
Yes.
Like if they don't, they feel useless um and all that. And I'm like,
They lose their identity.
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm like, but
So
you got to
sad.
take care of yourself. And that's why I'm always telling my youngest daughter, who's 21, I'm like, you have to build yourself up before you can go into a relationship and you got to learn what you're going to tolerate and what you're not. Because if
That's
if they
so
go past your
important.
boundaries, then you have to end it. I mean,
If
you have to end it.
if Charlotte would have, you're right. If Charlotte would have taken the time and invested in getting some help in that way, she may have been able to find her own voice, her own independence, her own. Because I was just like those women, and I have all the compassion in the world for them. But I've been in trauma therapy for 3 years. And now, when my poly partners are like, I'm jealous of XYZ, and it's like, you don't have to be jealous of any of them. You need to be jealous of whether my alone time it's more better than time with you because I prefer me over everybody. Like, you know what I mean? But I get where you're coming from. That I feel so sad for people like that because it's such a lonely existence. And I don't, it's that satiated feeling. I don't feel like that cup ever gets full. I just don't. I think you have to fill it yourself. Udi, how about you? Would you have changed hubby?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
he's my person,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Like, he makes me better. I feel like I'm Sabine in the story,
I
and
am too.
he's Alice. He's the innocent one.
Well, you know what? Those two parts always attract.
Right.
There's always, yeah, those two
Yeah,
people always find each
he's
other.
the one person I can stand to be around 24/7 and not get annoyed or mad or whatever. Like,
So you
yeah,
would
he
change him.
I would. And
Yeah.
I'm sure he would be willing
Yeah,
because
a
I
lifetime
think
with Udi
I
with the
think,
booty.
yeah, yeah, I think he would like to live life with me and see because he's a history buff. He likes listening to all the history. I think he'd like to see the world change.
I love that. I love that. Stephanie, I think I already know, but I do want to hear. But I feel like if you were a vampire and you had met Robert along the way, you would have asked him, will you be with me forever? Am I right on that? Or would you felt
Definitely
bad?
would.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
Yeah, I definitely asked, but I wouldn't turn him unless I had his permission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so one last fun question, and then we can go fast. I want to know what result you got for your character. We'll start back with Stephanie. And do you agree now, knowing everything, that is most like out of these three women, it's most like you?
So I got Charlotte, and I think in some capacity I fit with Charlotte, but like where I want the companionship and but I wouldn't go one night stand to one night stand to one night stand. But I feel like she was more powerful than she thought she was, but she did need to go to therapy.
That is something that you don't know either, even though you go to therapy, you still don't know how powerful you are. So I can
Thank
see the
you.
relatability in that. Absolutely. What about you, Udi? You didn't get Sabine.
No, I got Charlotte.
Yeah. So how are you
Um,
feeling?
I definitely see a lot of me in her.
Mm.
Um, Honestly, probably if I didn't have my hubby, I probably would be doing one night stands.
Hmm.
But not if I knew like Sabine was gonna kill them. I would definitely choose a different option. But
I
I,
think
I
finding your inner Sabine, it leaks out sometimes, especially when you
it
get
does.
real passionate. You know, when you get in your feels, your inner Sabine starts to just kind of feral itself out.
It's like it's like the logical part just shuts off in my brain and I just go off my emotions
Yeah.
and I just like It's like, oh fuck no, hell no, no,
That's where we
that's
connect.
what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what like no, I'm doing that. No, fuck you. Mm-mm.
Right.
You
That's
can't you can't tell me not to do that. I'm gonna show you.
yes, that's where we bond at. Yeah, absolutely. Karen, who did you get? Did you get Alice?
I did get Alice, and
Yes,
I think I would agree that I'm the most like
I,
Alice.
I love that. She was my favorite character from the start. Jessica, who did you get?
I got Alice. And I don't know that I agree with that exactly. Um, I definitely really felt like I identified more with Lottie. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're like one of the strongest people I know. In fact, I sometimes see a little bit of Sabine, especially,
There's a little bit, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I can see the Alice in you too, though. Maybe you have a
Diane
little,
just snorted when you said there's a little bit of Sabine, and I said a little,
I'm
and she
telling
was
you,
like,
you keep it under the surface, but there's a little bit there. There is.
a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Anana, who did you get? Anana may have stepped away. Or no, yay!
Sorry.
It's okay.
I, it's a family dinner night, so I'm doing multiple things tonight. I got Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, there were some regrettable similar aspects.
Yes.
I feel like I don't think one night stands are my thing. I go the opposite way.
Are you
I'm
demisexual? Because that's what I was getting ready to tell
Yeah,
Stephanie. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do avoid confrontation. Like I have a hard time like making like a firm decision and following through. So I do like I did see myself. I had wanted to be Alice. I wanted to be Alice.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But yeah. Yeah. I saw all the bad aspects of Lottie in myself.
You need to admit that there may be something there. For me too. Nikki, how about you? Who did you get?
I got Alice.
You are an
I
Alice.
am an Alice.
You are. Gwen, tell us about yours and how you feel about that. Because I thought maybe the quiz was wrong. I thought you were an Alice, but
I got Lottie, Charlotte. I feel I definitely don't do the one night stands. I'm definitely Demi. And I definitely wouldn't be going around with Sabine killing people. That's just definitely not that. I could see Charlotte as the person who was with Sabine. That Charlotte. I can see myself being that Charlotte. But the Charlotte that occurred once she left Sabine, that's not so me. I felt more like an Alice at that point in the story. So that's what I feel like I changed.
okay, Cicely, who did you get?
I think I go. I got Charlotte, and I'm a little bit mad about it, but having finished the book, because she pisses me off through the whole book, right?
Yeah.
And I like Anonymous made some really good points. I can agree with that she is also a victim, but like man,
Mm-hmm.
I have, my own laundry list of traumatic events, but and I'm not saying the way that I've handled that is good, but also like damn girl, no. No.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I would be anyone in the book. I'm probably like more on the a-hole range towards Sabine,
Me too.
which is a constant work in progress. Like I'm trying to be a better person. I'm just not great at it. And then
Me either. Does not come naturally. I'm
like
born
this
like
is
her.
work.
Uh-huh. Takes
Being nice is work. Because there's a difference between being nice and being kind. Like I'm capable of kindness very easily, but being nice does not come easily to me.
me either.
Um, no, I would like to just fight. So but that being like a primary personality quality of like, I would like to just fight. Let's just go toe to toe. Let's just
Yeah,
like hash it
let's
out.
just get this
How
shit
do I
over
get
with.
Charlotte? How do
Yeah,
I get her?
yeah, yeah. I know.
Like the
I can even
opposite
see a
of like a fight in the Waffle House parking lot that I would like to have with her.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
mad.
Yeah, well, I get it, and I struggled with my result the whole time because only Jameson and I got it, and I thought, here I go again. I got the one result nobody else ever gets. I'm so screwed up. Aaron, did you get Alice? You're in Alice 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I did, when we very first met, I think I knew that you were one of those people, and I think that's why we bonded instantly. At first I was ashamed. I was like, oh my God, I am this feral, crazy, redheaded nut, like Sabine. And then as the book progressed, I was like, I'm not an Alice as much as I want to be. I admire her so much and would love to be that person like you and Karen and but at least I own my Sabine. At least I stand in my truth, and everybody knows. Oh, that is one crazy redheaded bitch. Stay away. So at least I have the self respect for that. And I think Jameson may say the same. I could be wrong, but I think Jameson would own it too. So we're announcing our next book. And this is the first time Cozy Corner has, which is weird because that's our name, has ever done a cozy book. So the Cinnamon Bun bookstore won. I'm so shocked that it won. This is a little snippet. It says, you can read these at any point. It's a part of a series, but you can read them in any order that you want. It's by Lori Gilmore. And it says it's a Dream Harbor series, a cozy, spicy, small town romance novel published on August 29th, 2024. The story follows Hazel, a bookstore owner, and Noah, a fisherman, as they follow a trail of secret messages found in the books, leading them on a summer adventure and into a blossoming romance. We have not done one of these romancy, soft, cozy books, and we're some wild people. So I am really curious how Cozy Corner is going to come in on this. As soon as I get the book, I'm going to post in our group webpage and on Audible and on the actual hardcover. I'm excited for it. Emily Noel suggested it. I'm really curious to see how we all handle romance instead of death and vampires and carnage and serial killers.
And if anybody's interested, I did look it up. It's available on Kindle Unlimited for free, and it does have its own playlist as well.
Oh, this is gonna
So
be
I can screenshot
cool.
that and post that for everybody.
I love that. Thank you so much. And Anana, when you find your favorite part, the one that was like in the 200s, please post that quote because I love quotes. Otherwise, happy reading. This is going to be an actual October cozy, not October thriller or serial killer. So I'm excited. I love you all. Thank you so much for all of your honesty and being so vulnerable. This was hard to talk about. Bye. Have a great week.